The Rise and Grind Morning Show is on. 419 The Grind.
She got it bad and she wonders that if I'm gonna take it serious, it's like a heart attack. I gotta go, my heart's not attached. I let her go, but she keep running back, right back. She got it bad and she wonders that if I'm gonna take it serious, it's like a heart attack. I gotta go, my heart's not attached. I let her go, she keep running back, right back. Hate to see you leave, but I love to watch you go. Hate to see you leave, but I love to watch you go. I got trust issues, but I learned from my lessons. All my old exes thought that I was a menace, yeah. Took her serious, but then she cheated like a villain. She wanted bad, but I'm one in a million. 'Cause your love is stronger than a feeling, and it hurts just think about you leaving. I can't waste no more time. Gotta leave you in the past, now just move on, girl. 'Cause I know what you like. I'm made up in your life to be there all the time. The timing isn't right, but what is up, just focus. She got it bad and she wonders that if I'm gonna take it serious, it's like a heart attack. I gotta go, my heart's not attached. I let her go, but she keep running back, right back. She got it bad and she wonders that if I'm gonna take it serious, it's like a heart attack. I gotta go, my heart's not attached. I let her go, she keep running back, right back. Hate to see you leave, but I love to watch you go. Go, go, go. Hate to see you leave, but I love to watch you go. Go, 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 go. Drop down, get your ego on. Say the way you hit the floor, get your ego going. You ain't worried about your past, only where you're going. But if you focus on the future, you gon' keep on growing. Oh, I can help you with your problems. I'm doing my thing, single with no baby mama. I'm living my life like there's no tomorrow. I know what you like, I got a shirt you can borrow. Let's go. Hold up, girl. I'm falling for the same thing, repeating these patterns like I'm going insane, man. Get to the bag, money is ag, counting them racks, yeah. Looking at last, look at my past, get to the bag, yeah. She got it bad and she wonders that if I'm gonna take it serious, it's like a heart attack. I gotta go, my heart's not attached. I gotta go, but she keep running back, right back. She got it bad and she wonders that if I'm gonna take it serious, it's like a heart attack.
Dammy. Beverly, big steppers only. Yeah. Say what you mean what you say, nigga. Ain't riding with me, stay about the way, nigga. Ain't got your food, I'm still in place, nigga. Swish. Bitch, that's all wrist. Shoes, red bottoms, bills all crips. Pass the vaccine, niggas all sick. I hear them talk shit, show up and they all on dick. Too much fraud shit, can build a whole house. They shooting all bricks. All that pillow talk, and you done lost a bitch. I don't need a pick, now watch the sauce. That walking CEO, E.T. high flow. Let's go. Just lift a finger, bitches like, ooh, watch it go. Pop Addy like a Willie, smelling like a cash stimmy. If niggas say it's smoke, I'm sliding down the old gym. Now I ain't playing, bitch, really. Nah. A nigga too jiggy. Fuck a me and you, I really grand slam the dick. I know you ain't a boss, cause your bitch capping nowadays. All you preach about is money. Bitch, I'm stuck in my ways. Splashing that real paper, estimate just a shame. Cut from a different cloth, we cut the nets after game. Lost some friends and gained endeavors, no handouts, my own investors. Strip club, we bring umbrellas, happy places under pressure. With the dogs like I'm Cruella, money talk, I'm serving lectures. Change my name to Sasquatch, cause I'm a big stepper. Oh, swish. Bitch, that's all wrist. Shoes, red bottoms, bills all crips. Pass the vaccine, niggas all sick. I hear them talk shit, show up and they all on dick. Too much fraud shit, can build a whole house. They shooting all bricks. All that pillow talk, and you done lost a bitch. I don't need a pick, now watch the sauce drip. Done lost so many homies in the past year. That chillin' be humble shit, so last year pop my shit, bet I talk it. A nigga took a L, it was lessons never lost. Church. Never trust a soul, cause they ain't making twin coffins. Church. And don't believe a bitch to say that she don't do this often. Dennis happens, steady flossing, exes all they, ooh, they lost. They just squeezing up behind his wife and feet up, kissing off. Hey, who you think you is? Crunch time, Lil with the step back. Just God's plan, fuck boys gotta accept that. All these gold links, they think I'm Cuban. Head on the swivel, every circle got a juice. On my shit and y'all can scoop it. MVP for most improvement, draft night. How y'all be choosing? Wade to James, how we upped it. It's a comeback if I'm losing with the forms. Came from Buicks, Montel Jordan. Walk up in that bank and it's just how we do it. Hold on. Swish. Money. Bitch, that's all wrist. Shoes, red bottoms, bills all crips. Pass the vaccine, niggas all sick. I hear them talk shit, show up and they all on dick. Too much fraud shit, can build a whole house. They shooting all bricks. All that pillow talk, and you done lost a bitch. I don't need a pick, now watch the sauce drip. Say what you mean what you say, nigga. Ain't riding, stay up on my way, nigga. Oh, wow. It's 3 a.m. I'm clubbing with my friends. They turned up and I'm tuned out. They dreaming about you. I can't keep my cool. We got a situation, so boys in their location. Nobody knows about us, but if they do, what they think. Cause I'm a busted for my sneaky link. Nobody knows about us, but if they do, what they think. Cause I'm a busted for my sneaky link. And I don't know where this thing can go, but I'm loving where it's at right now. So boy, come take It's better to love yourself, no BSing, and pride yourself of life lessons. Life lessons is confidence when you stand on it. Cause your mama gave you all the assets you was born with. Watch your skin glow when you tell her no. And watch your soul glow when you tell her man no. Recognize the difference, it is no coincidence. Before you step on the scene, don't forget to apply your cocoa butter, shake butter cream. Keep up all the melody. Cocoa oil, shit. Go show off that melody. Just so glow. Watch your soul glow. Watch your soul. Room straight, stand up tall and own that like you own it all. Ain't no shame in your game, and ain't no one the same as you's a goddess, and you know you the hottest. And watch your skin glow when you tell her no, and watch so glow when you tell her man no. Recognize the difference, it is no coincidence. Before you step on the scene, don't forget to apply cocoa butter.
Hey, yo, Lane, check dig, man. I was just sitting back reminiscing, man, you know what I'm saying, and vibing on how things used to be, you dig? Like when we was youngsters, you know what I'm saying, that old West End used to rock. St. Anne's jump, you know?
When children used to see the dance every day. I used to go to Toledo. When kids really used to go outside and play. I used to go to Toledo. When females used to carry themselves as women. I used to go to Toledo. Where hustlers used to chew their tongue without snitching.
Listen, I remember back in the day when I was a child, doing bad, mama used to take us to eat at Hot and Now. Very convenient, the food was good and plus it was cheap. Creeping off the block to go swimming at Willie's every week. Dirt courts and just about every backyard hooping on crates. Sneaking jars out the house, trying to catch lightning bugs and snakes. The good old days when penny candy really used to cost a penny. Ice cream truck had ice cream on it, you could buy for 10 pennies. Pimping your bike out with chrome caps, reflectors, and mirrors. The hood used to be a village back when the neighbors cared. It was less snitching, more females carried themselves like women. I wish I could go back and visit, cause I miss the old Toledo.
When children used to see the dance every day.
I mean, it ain't got that same vibe it got no more than
Really used to go outside and play.
Yeah, okay. I feel where you going, CJ.
Females used to carry themselves as
Okay,
women.
man. It's your boy Bobcat, man. Just reminiscing, check this.
Where hustlers used to chew their tongue without snitching.
I'm just reminiscing about the old days. And nah, I don't go far back as the OJs. Lane, look, I'm talking late 80s, early 90s. On Auburn up at Peach Rose is where you could find me. I was screaming crossroad for the love of the dough. 16 double O until the world blow. When Indo and Joint Mob had a lock on the South. And Arden Coleman had you scared to come out of your house. Around the time when Magic Wand found out he was Plera. And Ray Stone was so fly, yeah, that was the era. Philly and Philly and all was reppin' for Out Hill. That Scott and Libby gang could damn near get a nigga killed. When Northtown was bumpin', Southwick was slumpin'. Follow the light, lightning rod had every club jumpin'. I give her arm, a leg, 2 shoulders, and a tooth. To see Toledo how it was in my youth. Man, I miss the old Toledo.
When children used to see the dance every day. When kids really used to go outside and play. When females used to carry themselves as women. Where hustlers used to chew their tongue without snitching.
Wake up, Toledo.
Wake your ass up.
You're listening to the 419 Grinds Rise and Grind Morning Show.
I'm day.
For real? For real?
Let's go.
I told you.
It is something.
It is something.
It is
Feeling
something.
it. He's feeling it today.
I see.
Who remember Mighty Bite ice cream sandwiches? They used to cost 25 cents. Let's make sure
Was they
remember
25 or 10 cents?
They
For
were
what?
25 cents. The Mighty Bite ice cream sandwich.
You can't
Mighty
make
Bites.
me remember because I've never
I'm
heard
not trying to
of them.
make you remember.
You
but-
just said, let's make Shae remember. That's exactly
Well, let's make
what
her
you
remember
said.
then, goddamn.
I can't remember because I've never heard
And
of
let's
them.
make Dennis remember the 10-cent Hershey Pops. They used to come in blue,
What?
red,
I don't
orange.
remember those things. any ice
You know the Mighty Bites?
I don't know what a Mighty
Y'all
Bite
ain't
is.
never, y'all never go to JR's Carryout. We
No,
had
I don't
10-cent
even know what that
Hershey
is. Do you keep
Where's
forgetting we're
JR's
not the
Carryout
same
at?
age
JR's
group?
Carryout was on Belmont Ewing.
We are not the
early
same
era.
age group here. I don't
I'm just
even,
saying.
never even heard of that before.
I'm just saying. Bobby
Bobby
Howard's had
Howard's
them
is
too. Bobby Howard's had
And
the
I
10-cent
didn't
Hershey
still know
Pops
about
too.
those either. They came out when?
I don't know.
What year?
I was like 7 or 8 in the 80s.
I wasn't even born
Anyway,
yet.
moving right along.
Like, what the heck? Good morning, grinders.
I remember not 25 cents. I remember. I told you.
I'm gonna find you guys some Mighty Bites. I don't remember.
Nobody said that they weren't real. I just told you I can't relate. I've never heard of them before.
Well, act like you can relate.
No,
to the
I'm
show.
not going to act like anything.
I can't relate
I'm not
either.
going to fake.
Dennis,
Y'all
can you
don't never-
relate?
Y'all don't never want to relate.
I'm gonna find some Mighty Bites. I'm bringing them in. I'm gonna find
I'm
a
not
plug.
gonna fake it. That's one thing about me.
I got it.
He said he gonna find
That
it.
is one thing about me. I ain't faking it, okay?
Oh my goodness. Well,
Listen.
you never experienced ice cream sandwich unless you experienced the Mighty
Well, I'm
Bite.
sorry. I never
Because it was a
experienced
Mighty
that.
bite. You didn't have to take 2 bites.
We're gonna find out he's got an interest in Mighty Bites. Just
Yeah,
not
is
telling
that what
us.
it is?
You got something to
How much you got?
Cause he
Ain't got
biting
no more
on
Mighty Bites. They don't make
How much you got?
He act like Mighty Bites gave him a stimulus check.
I'm just saying.
How much you got in there? Huh?
Right,
Not too much.
you got Mighty Bites stocks and you invested.
How much you got?
He got 10 cents.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Moving right along. How y'all doing this morning, Toledo?
Good.
Good.
How you
How you
feeling?
doing?
We got our boy Dennis in the building.
Yeah, he was knocking soft today. He wasn't knocking like the police.
Hey
He
man,
was
last
out
time
there
he
for
said
a minute.
I sounded like the cops, so I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
Then I opened the
move
door and he
easy.
looked like a dirty cop. I said, oh shit, we all going to
Next time I'm gonna bring a warrant and slip it under you guys' door when I show
Oh, don't
up.
do that.
Don't
I
do
got
that.
kids at home.
You won't get in that day. You're like, well, Dennis can make it.
Knocking at the front door. We gonna close the door. We don't hear nothing.
All right.
Yeah, it's a certain kind of knock. We know it's like it hit all our ears.
I'll make one that's a little bit more.
Yeah,
You know.
the pizzazzy, yeah. Them other kind of
Yeah, I
knocks.
got
Leave
you.
him
I'll
out
work
there. Ain't
something
nobody home. Man, let's send a shout out to our sponsors, Hot Box,
Hot Box.
Mud City ENT,
Yep.
Essential Vibes, Lance Self, the people salesman himself,
Yes, sir.
Jay Rush,
Yep.
Sasha Denise,
Sasha.
God, your voice coming back.
Ah.
Greater New Psalmist Baptist Church,
Amen.
Jason White and the Witness Riches Program, the Black
Hey.
Lettuce, Dough Chasers.
I got him on today.
14-day credit fix program, all of that.
Yeah.
The Social Butterfly.
Hey, Miss Carter.
Miss Carter been all over. You see her post? She got pictures with everybody.
Yeah,
Eric B,
she popping.
Rakim,
She always popping.
all kind of musical artists, football
always
players and stuff, and the Hype organization.
Hype, hype,
And if you would like to be a sponsor, you can hit us up at Rise
and grind.
at the419grind.com and we'll get you hooked up with some sponsorship packages. And like I say all the time, it's a great time to jump on board with the 419
And Kendall
Grind.
Harvey. You forgot about Kendall Harvey.
I thought I said Kendall.
No, you didn't. You went from Social Butterfly to Hype Organization.
Well, get me together. I was wondering
I'm
why you
getting
didn't
you
say
together.
in grind too with us.
Yeah, I was looking at you the whole time.
And Kendall Harvey.
Thank you.
I apologize, Mr. Harvey, because I stopped at your booth at the Ottawa Park. I was hoping to meet you. You wasn't there, but I told your people to tell you I said hi. So, if you would like to be a sponsor of the Rise and Grind Morning Show, you can hit us up at Rise
And Grind.
at the419grind.com, and we'll get you hooked up with some sponsorships.
All right.
All right, you got weather for us yet?
Yeah, I do. You see
Drop it
this,
like it's hot.
it's-
Drop it like it's hot.
Nice outside,
The
right?
sun definitely ain't dropped out like it's hot. It's definitely.
The rain dropping like it's hot.
That's the only thing dropping like it's hot. It is currently 68 and it's a drizzle. That's new. I've never seen the word drizzle up there, and it's got the little. You see the rain effects?
Number don't use drizzle. So.
Yeah, and it's raining, and it's going to be raining all day. Actually, the sun is not coming out today. It does say we will be at a high 79 because it is muggy out there.
It is
though.
muggy.
So you guys can expect the sun to
That's a
not
nice
come out
summer
today.
rain. Summer rain.
It is. They had a
Sweet
window
rain,
open
yeah.
with some candles,
Yeah.
with a silk sheet.
And the turtleneck on like Carl
No,
Thomas.
why would you have a turtleneck on? I said
Oh.
a silk sheet.
Silver
Turtle,
satin.
wait a minute. What? Why would you have a turtleneck on?
Just because Carl
Right.
Thomas wear turtlenecks in summer rain.
Emotional.
Oh, okay.
and
So would you have a
I
silk
can't
sheet or a
let go.
satin sheet?
I will have a
What's hotter, silk or satin?
It's silk, huh?
I don't know.
Silk is kind of hot.
It is
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah,
So
no, you-
satin.
Yeah.
Just satin.
That satin, that cool breeze, you slide across them sheets and fall off the other side of the bed.
Yeah.
I'm poor. I wouldn't know nothing about that, but I seen it on TV.
I can't wait to get in the bed. It's gonna be a nice little breeze.
Oh man.
So yeah, that's the weather for today. As far as traffic is concerned, I didn't see any new reported incidents. I just know it's wet out there, so people need to take their time and slow down. Did you guys see anything new?
No, just be aware of the construction areas. Like I said, Central. Between Central and Kenwood on Douglas.
The airport,
The airport construction.
Jefferson the 16th, the
Downtown.
17th.
I saw another spot, but I can't remember. I'm sorry.
It'll come to you.
And then I said,
Okay.
I'm always ready, man.
time to shine. It's all on you,
Rise and
buddy.
Grind Morning Show.
You got some topics for us. I'm ready to argue with you. I ain't gonna argue.
Never argue with a lawyer.
Never argue with you.
Tell that to my girlfriend.
It's all fair when we ain't in court. This is the time you're supposed
Yeah, there's
to
some
argue.
places you don't
I don't
know.
believe you, Dennis. You're paid to lie. Just go about it. I don't care.
All right,
All right.
let's talk, guys.
All right, what you got?
Sure.
So one crazy story that I just saw out of Springfield, Illinois, right? So these drug tests they do on the side of the street are notoriously wrong.
Wait. On the side of the street.
Yeah, so like if they pull you over in the car and they think you've got drugs in them, they do these tests like right there and then and there, you know? they like drop this little thing in there and it's supposed to tell you what kind of drugs are in it,
okay.
but they're wrong like all the time. It's a huge problem. Well, this one incident in Illinois in April really exposes how wrong it can be. So this guy gets pulled over in Springfield, Illinois, and he's got his 2-year-old daughter's ashes in a little vial that he keeps next to him.
Oh, I saw the video.
And
Did you?
And the officer says, I think this is either meth or ecstasy. So he does one of these little roadside tests on it, and it comes back positive, which is
What?
crazy. It's like, how
Right.
does somebody ashes, a 2-year-old's ashes in particular, come back positive?
Right.
So he's pleading with the guy, like, no,
was
this is
an emotional
not.
video.
Yeah, like this
It was
is not
emotional.
what you think it is.
He was crying. He was
Yeah.
like, this is my daughter ashes, bro. He's like, this is my daughter ashes. Like, he had like a little vial, like I guess you could carry with you, just not the whole urn, but enough. And he was like, man, this is my daughter ashes, bro. Like, what the fuck is you doing?
Yeah.
Like, the officer was like, all that.
Yeah, and the officer was doing his thing, like, no, came back
he black?
positive. Yeah. And the dad shows up, and the dad of the guy who got pulled over, and the dad's like, seriously, this is what it is. Like, test it again. They tested again, and eventually they let the guy go. Well, now he's suing the Springfield, Illinois Police
As he
Department,
should.
saying that you desecrated my daughter.
Yeah.
You had no right to do that. You didn't have a warrant, and this
Man,
would
it
be.
was-
As he should.
It was an emotional video. Like, I almost started crying. Like, he was like, man, this is my daughter ashes. My dauter died, like, was it like 2 months ago?
It was like,
Dang, I
and,
need to
and,
see
he,
that.
and the daughter died under some really bad circumstances
like,
too.
and
So
she
like,
had, just died. It wasn't no year or nothing. Like, he was crying. I was like, oh man.
so
Wow.
we'll follow that as it goes.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting to see how it
should
goes
definitely
because
win.
it sometimes you might think that, but sometimes the government has a lot of protection if they make an honest mistake. So they say, and he's gonna say it was just an honest mistake, even though that's like the worst.
No,
Yeah.
forget that. That's crazy.
The other thing about this is a lot of those roadside tests that you get done end up ultimately after they get tested in the lab not being the drug that they thought it was, but people sit in jail for months.
That's
on
crazy.
What?
He better apply for a PPP and
then
get out
they-
of Sharpton on this.
But they can get that
immediately.
thrown out of court as well too. Like,
Yeah, but like
a lot of times they won't use that as evidence.
But in the meantime, you got
Still
pulled
sitting in
into jail.
jail.
You got your bond set. A lot of people can't afford their bond. They sit
Yeah,
there for
that's
months.
crazy.
Then you might lose a job because you're sitting in jail.
Why are they still even allowing those tests? Like, that's
Well,
just crazy. If you notice that they're
look,
doing
the-
negative so much.
Yeah, the drug laws in America is a whole nother topic, but like we just need to stop over policing nonviolent drug offenses is the real answer.
That's what it is. Because in Illinois, the police can't stop you. They can't search your car because they smell marijuana because marijuana is legal there.
Yeah.
So now they're going after other drugs heavy, just trying,
Yeah.
stereotype.
One thing after another, right?
Yeah.
But it's just it's a pretext for pulling people over, especially certain minorities. That's just what they
Right.
do, and it's not. I think that drug use is a public health problem, right? Less of a criminal issue.
Right, right.
So
And Illinois is just a gangster state anyway. Like, that's one of the most corrupt states, for real.
So we'll follow that. We'll see if these
Yes, sir.
police officers end up getting held accountable for this. I
Yeah,
don't
'cause
know.
that's crazy.
Yeah, but
That was a new one you had too, 'cause I didn't.
I had to throw that
Yeah,
one
right
on there
now,
because
he
I
said
saw
he
it and I
just-
said, man,
I saw you looking like.
I heard him last night. I'm like,
Am I missing a page?
you trying to be slick?
like you was taking a test in class
wanna
and
get
nobody
extra
gave him the
credit.
right.
You know me, you know how I be.
You already seen the video, so this was definitely new news to me.
Yeah.
It was sad.
So you already
like-
got extra credit because you
Well,
know.
the state of Illinois could owe that guy a lot of money, but speaking of states
I hope
owing
so.
people some money, the state of Ohio just passed
yeah.
a new law, $465 million to help certain people in Ohio pay for their housing and utility bills. So Governor Mike DeWine signed last week a law that directs $465 million in the federal money that we got for coronavirus to help lower income Ohioans pay things like utility bills, rent, and a couple other things. And it really depends on how many people you've got in your household, but the qualifications are anywhere from $39,000 to $74,000 in income per year. So it could affect a whole lot of people. Can be paid for things like electric, gas, trash, water, sewer, home, and internet services even in some circumstances.
Yeah, I need that because this
So-
water
Yeah,
bill
me
is
too.
crazy. My water bill is crazy now.
I need some rent stimulus.
Listen.
So it can't be
So I
paid.
won't be here Monday. I will be at Pathway. I'm going to fill out my paperwork.
So the agency in Lucas County is Pathway Incorporated, 505 Hamilton.
Hamilton building to
Yeah.
the hood, y'all
PIP,
know.
that's the PIP plan.
Yeah. And you can go to pathwaytoledo.org to see if you can get some more information, see if you qualify, and $465 million, yes.
I'm gonna try to qualify.
That's nice.
Yeah, I need
could
to
use-
qualify for that
I
light
could use
bill.
help with a light bill. I already cut my air on. It's been that hot. So yeah.
Right.
Speaking of money, should college athletes be able to make money off of their efforts on the field?
Absolutely.
I think that's. I agree with you. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's getting them ready for the pros.
Yeah, I've always thought that.
So-
that they should be compensated.
So 16 states agree with all of us. They've passed legislation that allows college athletes to make some money in some circumstances. Ohio might be the next one to jump on board. The crazy thing is that Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, and New Mexico are going to take effect on July 1st. So coming up here soon will be the first time those 5 states start allowing college athletes to make money.
So that's like a monopoly because now they're gonna try to go for the best players to come to their state.
That's why Alabama, of course, Alabama,
Roll Tide,
Florida,
all down south,
Mississippi,
the SEC.
Yeah, they're serious about football.
So that's exactly right. The Alabama quarterback might be able to sign a Nike deal while the Ohio State quarterback can't, and that's going to cause all sorts of problems. So people are talking about letting the feds make a law that will either restrict all the money to college athletes or allow all of the money to college athletes.
They need to go ahead and do that.
Because whenever you have these like states making certain calls and then every other state, like legalized marijuana is a great example of that.
Yeah, that should have been federal.
Exactly. So certain things just affect so much of our population that it should just be handled like, let's just get one legislative body to determine what the answer is, and then we'll just go with it there. So
some stuff the government don't even want to fool with, though. That's the problem.
Yeah. So Ohio might be jumping into this fray, though, because like those other 16 states, recently there was a news conference that was announcing that they were going to introduce major legislation involving collegiate athletes being able to make some money. Yeah. Obviously, be huge here, Ohio State, and a lot of these schools.
Ohio State.
Yeah, they make a lot of money.
Yes, they do.
So, you know, look, a lot of these colleges will say, we give our student athletes education, and that's enough. Like, that's worth a lot. But the fact is, these people are risking their lives out there.
Right.
Anytime they step on that field and wear that jersey, they could tear their ACL and be done.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them, only 3% of college athletes make it to pros. 3%. So they play 4 years, sometimes 3 to 4 years in football or basketball, and they might get hurt at the end of the year, and they can't make it to the pros because
it's not like they have any insurance for that or anything. So these people are putting their careers or livelihoods on the line, and they get. I mean, it's not like they don't get anything. They get an education, but
this has been an argument since the Fab Five with Chris Webber and them. Chris Webber one brought it up. They're selling our jersey with our number and our names on it. We ain't getting paid.
They're getting all the licensing rights, all the TV rights. I mean, it's exploitative. There's no other way to put it.
They get in trouble if somebody give them a check and say, "I like what you're doing. Here for a couple thousand."
They were making video games. They stopped that because of this.
What they did?
Yeah, that's why they stopped, because the college athletes weren't making any money off of it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see how this goes. There's also other issues when you start getting into this, like can college athletes hire agents, for example? It gets messy pretty quickly, but we're gonna see how this all plays out.
What's the problem with the college athlete hiring an agent?
Well, number one, the agents are gonna obviously jack the price up for everything. Like in my world, car accident cases, it's been found that if you have a car accident lawyer, you get 3 times more on average on your settlements than you would by yourself. I trust the same is true for student athletes. They're gonna get 3 times more if they've got somebody who knows their value and is really pushing it. You know, they always say, like, if you represent yourself, you got a fool for a client. It's like everything always sounds different coming from somebody else. So if I say, you know, he's worth $1 million and he says he's worth $1 million, it sounds a lot better coming from somebody next to him.
Right.
You know?
And Lord, some judges won't listen, really pay you no attention when you represent yourself.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. I used to work for the public defender's office for many years, man.
So you know all the tricks of the trade.
I saw it all, man, for sure. Anyways,
did you ever cry?
Do I ever cry?
No, did you ever cry? Did you ever cry in some of the cases you seen? I know you saw some heartbreakers.
I mean, not like in court. I wouldn't be here right now if I was crying.
A Lifetime movie.
No, I mean, I've seen a lot of injustice and sad things, and like you name it. I mean, anyone has ever spent any time in Toledo Municipal Court?
Oh my God.
Okay, so you guys know.
I be want to cry just to sit there for a traffic ticket. Damn, I'm in here for 3 hours. Come on now.
As a public defender intern, I was able to do a lot of good things for people, right? So I think it was like banking karma in a lot of ways.
Right.
Like, nobody was getting paid a lot, right? But anyways.
Yeah. Moving right along.
And no, I have never cried in court. Just make that really clear. All right. So last year, actually between 2016 and 2020, a 4-year period of time, the Ohio State Highway Patrol estimated that 66,000 crashes happened with a distracted driver, and that led to 212 people dying. So texting and driving is a really big problem. But the question is, how do we solve it in a way that respects people's rights, but also gets makes people safer on the roads? There's 2 ways we could do this. One of them is we make it a primary offense, which means they could pull you over just if they see you operating your phone at all. Right now in Ohio, that's currently not the way it goes. They've got to catch you both doing that and something else. So speeding, going out of the lines. Now, if you're a child, that's different.
Right.
But currently, it's a secondary offense. There's a push in Ohio to move it to a primary offense, meaning that would be the only reason that police need to pull you over.
Oh, man.
Now, that sounds like a bad idea, especially for people who have to deal with getting pulled over disproportionately.
Yeah.
So you know, what's crazy about this is that the law actually... It's highly under debate right now, and they would have to make exceptions for like dialing phone numbers or doing what they call one swipe actions, which is like swiping to answer the phone. The crazy part about that is how are they going to know whether you're doing that or
That's what I was about to say too. Like, how do they even know what you're doing? Just because I'm looking down don't even mean I'm on my phone.
This law that we're talking about is something passed like this in New York, and they would give you a $750 ticket for your phone being in your hand and they pull you over.
Yeah, so like I understand both sides of it. It's like it's a dangerous thing. I get that, and you know, as a car accident lawyer, we see all sorts of horrible stuff. Right. But at the same time, we got to respect the fact that we can't just pull people over for basically nothing. Yeah. Unless that's what we want to do, and that's
because would you even know?
If a cop
like
pulls
you said,
up next
if you
to
did just
something.
one swipe, my phone is usually down here. It ain't like it's up here while I'm on it. And also that's what I'm saying. How would you even know?
No, I see some people doing this when they're driving.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, I can see now you're doing that.
Some people be FaceTime like, yeah, I'm driving.
Yeah. Well, maybe the phone manufacturer should just turn the phones off for everything but navigation.
And see, I used to have in my car a phone mount, so where I'm talking, but I'm not holding. Both of my hands are on the wheel.
Some cars do have car mode or whatever it is.
Yeah.
AirPlay, car AirPlay, whatever that is. So it basically, when you get to the car, you only can do certain things on the phone.
I mean, that sounds like a better solution to me than policing it, right? Because we don't want more interactions needlessly with police officers, really. Right. I mean, that's what we've seen cause problems over and over and over again. We want less interactions with police officers if we can.
There's a lot of technology that
old people. My car don't have that, so they need to make more affordable cars.
That's how technology forces you to evolve.
It forces you to.
Flip phones that hook right up to your car. You can be driving. Siri, text Shae, tell her I'm on my way to the studio, and you don't have to do nothing.
But I'm saying we need that.
I've always thought, like, even with the seatbelt law, like, why don't car manufacturers make it to where if your seatbelt isn't fastened, the car won't go into drive?
I mean, it's not a bad idea. You ever see those ones that like come along?
Yes,
you, like,
exactly.
Those old school ones. I mean, there's a lot of ways that we could probably do things that don't revolve law enforcement.
Right.
And I think we just need to get out of that mentality that law enforcement is the only answer to any of this stuff. There are certainly places where the law enforcement is necessary, but I don't think we need to be expanding interactions with people on the street if we can avoid it. Technology is a fine way to accomplish this.
Yeah, but you know that texting and driving has caused a lot of people to lose their life. And
I've seen it. I know.
That if you kill somebody texting and driving, you're gonna be an emotional wreck.
Yeah.
So you know it's bad on both sides of the ball.
Well, and also just bear some personal responsibility. You shouldn't be picking up your phone when you're behind the wheel. Right. It's dangerous. It could kill somebody, kill yourself. I mean, there's also that component of it.
I've seen people be like, fuck the road, looking for their phone.
I've seen that.
Oh my God, where my phone?
You know who used to do that?
The car's still driving.
You know who used to do that? My father used to do that.
Crazy.
But not his phone though. It'll be something like he's eating something. He's driving like
dropping him
he's driving.
I've seen people doing their makeup. And
his dad was a busy dude, so he was always trying to do something. So I can picture him eating on the run, trying to drive, eat some hot ass fries or something.
My brother was in the car with him one time. He was like, he had to take the wheel while he was looking for what he was looking for.
Looking for that pickle.
So this is another thing about this that I think is really telling about this proposed law. The bill would require law enforcement agencies to track the race of all individuals cited for driving offenses to make sure that it's not disproportionately affecting one race or another. I think that if you even need to put that in a law, then you need to really question whether
there's a problem.
Right.
That's sad.
Or at least a potential one. Right. So, and that's like pretty rare, frankly, that in the law they're like, let's make sure that this isn't going one way or another. So I think that tells you everything you need to know. Kinda, yeah. They don't usually just like admit that it's possibly going to be used disproportionately, right?
Well, since the black people numbers is high, just pull them over. They may be on the phone.
That's what we're trying to avoid, man. That's what we're trying to avoid, man. So, in any event, Ohio just approved 3 new existing conditions for medical marijuana use. So Ohio sort of limped in with medical marijuana. When it originally passed, it only allowed a prescription for some pretty serious things like AIDS, cancer, fibromyalgia, like Hep C, multiple sclerosis, pretty much devastating, debilitating, potentially
pain.
And they did have a couple that are probably a little less life-threatening, but they could be like post-traumatic stress, the intractable pain, like you said, stuff like that. Well, they just expanded 3 other ones: chronic migraines, arthritis, and complex regional pain syndrome. So they're starting to expand it slowly, but it's still probably not what needs to happen.
They need to just go ahead and
what is complex regional pain? Is that like pain that the doctors can't determine that you have?
It's like in a specific area. So it could be like multi-system. So it could be like, your liver and a couple of other organs within a certain region on your body. But basically, not probably would have qualified anyways under the former definition of like intractable pain, severe and intractable pain, chronic pain. But in any event, I think that Ohio eventually is going to have a reckoning with how we're going to deal with medicinal marijuana. When you start looking at the numbers, it's a little tough to argue against it, like you're saying. Michigan raised $500 million on recreational marijuana. Wow. That's tax revenue. That's not sales.
Right.
$500 million. Illinois, first day that it went recreational, $11 million.
Colorado been booming
$10 billion in sales.
10 billion?
10 billion with a B.
So why they ain't going ahead and approving it everywhere else? I'm confused.
I don't know.
Colorado raised $2 billion in tax revenue on that $10 billion.
That's what I'm saying.
That's like we was talking today earlier, Shae. Ohio's zodiac sign must be like a Cancer because they stubborn. They stubborn with all the laws.
And you a Cancer, you could relate.
I'm telling you, they stubborn because they should have been passing.
Cancer or Gemini.
Michigan 10 minutes away. We can go get high if we want to.
Yeah,
like for real.
I feel like that's so stupid to me.
But then if you go
and people still gonna get high regardless.
Well, and then we get back to the federal issue of like, okay, like if you go to Michigan, come back to Ohio, you've now trafficked across state lines. Right. It's a federal offense. It's stupid. We're spending money needlessly when we could be making it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They making all this money.
I think it's inevitable eventually, guys. But here we are.
Most people are pretty high when they're off the ceremonial herbs.
I don't sign no other petition, but I signed that one about 12 times. Each time they was out there driving family. I couldn't believe it.
When we were in law school, we learned this case about this guy who cited religious reasons to smoke like peyote or marijuana or something. And the United States Supreme Court basically said, just ask your state. If you want to do it, ask your state. You can't just cite religious reasons and then just do whatever you want. Like, if that's what you want, get the state to make that accommodation for you. So, anyways. So, speaking of millions of dollars, seems like we're on a certain trend today.
Yeah, right.
Speaking of millions of dollars, so what's crazy is that if your insurance company doesn't treat you fairly, which they always say they do, of course, but they don't, and this is a perfect illustration of it, then you could sue them for something called bad faith. Bad faith is like being dishonest or sort of like shisty, right?
I wish I would have knew about this. Look.
And so it happens all the time, and actually the bad faith claims themselves can sometimes be way bigger than whatever the underlying claim is, and like a lot of insurance companies get stung really bad by having certain type of shady behavior. So this guy in Pennsylvania crashes his car, and he basically had like a $12,000 repair for his 1996 Jeep Grand Cherokee. This thing has been going on since '96, okay? And
$12,000 repair.
Yes.
Bought a new car.
Well, so he was saying, look, my car's totaled. It was a '96, Jeep. It was, and so he's saying it's totaled. Nationwide sent it to their Blue Ribbon Repair Program, which is a series of places that fix cars, and they give him the car back, but it still has frame damage. So he sues them, saying basically, look, you forced me to get this car fixed. It's still not fixed, and you are trying to save a little bit of money just by doing it this way versus just totaling out my car. Well, it goes all the way to a judge. The judge issues a $21 million bad faith verdict.
Dang, what?
Yeah, this is not playing. It was
$12,000 car?
$18 million in punitive damages to punish Nationwide for shisty behavior, that's how I'm going to keep referring to it. That's my legal. That's the legal definition of bad faith. Yeah, $3 million for attorney's fees.
Wow. What?
So it goes all the way up to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court more recently, and the Supreme Court couldn't decide. They deadlocked half and half. Which means we don't really know the fate of that $21 million judgment.
Wow.
So this man somebody about to tell me something. You about to have my $21 million dangling.
So the $3 million will go to his lawyer, right?
$3 million goes to the lawyer.
So he gets 18, right? But he gets 18. Well, he's supposed to get $18 million.
Until the court,
depending on how this all plays out.
So the lawyer already got paid out, and he's
no.
I don't know if anyone's gotten paid out yet, but I think this just illustrates the point that even if you have this little dispute with your insurance company, if they don't play fair with you, and I mean exactly fair with you, you can sting them bad, and you should, frankly.
Yeah.
What's the statute of limitation? Because I got an insurance company. I want to.
Depends on in whatever state it is. So I mean,
this was here.
Just schedule a free consultation. We'll I'm trying to get $3 million in attorney's fees off Nationwide.
Yeah, we're trying to get that sponsorship. Teamwork make the dream work.
They ain't sponsoring us. We just getting the money.
So that's just the point, is that just because somebody doesn't play fair with you, you might think you're only owed what you get in a car accident case or whatever, but you need to always remember when you're dealing with these insurance companies, they have a duty to play fair with you. If they don't play fair with you, you can sting them bad. And that's the only way they listen, frankly.
Yeah.
And I'm a Scorpio, so that's my language. Stinging.
Insurance is the biggest hustle it is. Like, I mean, you should get money back every year if you don't get in a car accident.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I'm
Because
saying?
you've been paying just in case. You're paying money for it just in case.
I've said it again. I'll say it a million times.
Just in case.
There's no love lost for insurance companies. We take them to the cleaner all the time, and it is the best feeling in the world. So don't lose sleep. Don't lose sleep over this. I'm so sorry, Nationwide, for your $25 million judgment.
They got that. They got that.
They got it. They can rub a couple nickels together.
Yeah, they cool.
Yeah.
Forget that.
By the way, you said you're a Scorpio. You told me the first time that you were going to figure out what my sign is. You were going to guess.
Oh, I forgot. I was supposed to be doing
What
that.
are you going to guess?
Now,
I've been on 3 shows now. I'll give you 3 more shows.
No, I don't need 3 more, but I forgot. I wasn't paying attention. So, dang. Give me next Wednesday. I'll give it to you. Next Wednesday for sure.
She had a hard week this week.
Let's go to this. We'll use this next one for last. But Russell Simmons.
Yeah, we talked about that.
You talked about that? Man. So there's this energy drink company called Celsius. Have you ever had this energy drink?
No, I never even had heard of it until I reported it.
Russell Simmons put like $14 million behind this energy drink company.
Of course he did.
Which, he probably thought it was a pretty good investment. Well, his former wife, Kimora Lee, and her now husband, Tim Leissner, he claims now fraudulently transferred nearly 4 million shares to themselves to pay for Leissner's legal fees and bails. So apparently in 2018, her husband got caught for like money laundering or something, and he owed $44 million in restitution. Or else he was going to suffer jail time. So what Russell Simmons is now saying is they started moving these shares around to make good on that $44 million or whatever he owed to this court or whoever it was. And of course, Kimora Lee, for her part, denies all the allegations, says it's all fake and none of this
messed up.
Why would Russell make that up?
I mean, what's funny about this is like he said that his new accountants discovered a substantial unexplained change. How do you miss $14 million on the balance sheet? But I mean, that's Russell Simmons kind of money. Where like $14 million might have just been like an accounting error.
That's crazy. You got that much money, you can't.
With Kimora.
Huh?
His old accountant must have still been cool with Kimora.
That could have been it. That's why I got new accountants.
Count these pennies, because an accountant told me you'd be surprised how much money you can have shaving 2 pennies off every account.
I mean, it's like that. What is it? Boiler Room? What was that one where they're just like taking little percent?
Oh, yeah. I just watched that during COVID.
One of these movies. Yeah. It's about like just taking like very small amounts of money off everything, and then it ends up becoming a ton of money. I forget it's like a comedy or something. Not Boiler Room. Anyways,
that's how it is.
Soulja Boy.
Soulja Boy, cello.
Yeah, well, I think they might be telling him. I'm not sure how it's gonna go, but he just got sued by an ex who claims that he was abusive and it caused her to have a miscarriage.
I wonder if that's Nia, because I could have sworn Nia had a miscarriage.
I don't know.
The one who had a miscarriage is the one who sued him.
Nia Riley.
It might be. I don't know. The story I was reading at least didn't say her name. They actually said an anonymous ex-girlfriend. She actually sued under the name Jane Doe, which happens a lot for situations that are like sensitive. Maybe you don't want to put your name out there.
I remember her saying they had a miscarriage.
It might have been her. I don't know. But
she's
claiming that basically, from 2014 to 2019, they had this on again, off again relationship, and she could no longer stand the abuse. Yeah, probably that's right. And
they was on the show about 2018.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They were filming, in the complaint it says they were filming a reality TV show and night vision cameras caught a physical altercation.
Yeah, wow.
So, they're basically claiming that Soulja Boy sort of caused a lot of mental and physical abuse to her, including her having to have a miscarriage.
She said that on the show the one time too, though.
So, anyways, for Soulja Boy's part, the rep says Soulja would never put his hands on a female. He wouldn't beat a woman or put his hands on a woman. This is nonsense.
Well, Soulja Boy didn't say that. So
he didn't say that?
His rep said that.
That's what his rep said. He actually hasn't commented on this yet.
Oh, he hasn't?
I don't think so.
He better not say nothing.
He got a good look.
You say he was against you in the court of law.
So we've been talking.
Because they definitely bring up them flicks. Because they went to, they was on Love and Hip Hop, and then they was on Couples Retreat, and so it was about the relationship.
And there's like a video of something like this going on.
They even argued over there. So he better not say nothing because they can definitely pull up some receipts.
Oh boy.
Well.
Dennis, back to your favorite topic, huh?
I mean, I can't get away from this, guys. I'm not trying to find this
every week.
Every week is something about Tesla.
All right, so there's been this mystery. We've had 2 fatalities in 2 weeks involving self-driving Teslas. One was in Texas, one was in California. Both of them were kind of suspicious because we don't really know how these could happen. Tesla claims that you cannot operate one of these cars in autopilot unless you're in the seat. Okay, so I've been trying to get to the bottom of how this possibly could happen. You guys suggested maybe that this was being hacked or something. Well, we couldn't obviously figure it out because these were fatalities and the people who were doing it couldn't speak about it. Well, in California last week, a guy is driving on the highway and he looks over and he sees somebody in the backseat of a Tesla sleeping and nobody in the front seat at all. So he pulls out his phone and they start recording this guy rolling down the highway with nobody in the seat. And so they call the police, or somebody who sees the video online calls the police. The police get behind this guy. They follow him for like 10 or 15 minutes trying to stop him. He's sleeping, so the car's just barreling down the highway. And finally they pull him over. He looks like he just woke up out of a nap. They're asking him if he was sleeping. He was like, no, I'm just tired. Which, like, let me just give everybody a little advice here. If the police stop you, you don't need to talk to them. Like, there's no obligation for you to talk to them. So, like, you don't even need to try to defend yourself. You just simply not say anything. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't need to be mean about it, but, like, you have an obligation to talk to police. Anyways, there's a video of him basically saying, like, I'm just tired. And he's an engineer. He, I believe, though he has not admitted this, that he hacked the car's system so that he could get in the back seat. On the wings of this, Consumer Reports, the company that does like car reviews and whatnot, came out and said that it was incredibly easy to disable the features that would prevent the car from operating in autopilot.
What's going on with Tesla? I just don't understand.
So yeah, Consumer Reports said that their engineers had easily tricked a Tesla Model Y so that it could drive in autopilot, and the automaker's driving assistance features would be turned off, basically.
Wow,
so that's probably what's happening.
Bring their prices down. Y'all bought a $30,000 car. Why is y'all $100,000 and all these? Now it's easily to be hacked. Like, what is going on?
This dude was honorary though, because he said, "I'm gonna keep sitting in the back."
Yeah, he said, "I'm gonna go in the back seat right now. You feel me? I'm waiting for my car to charge." That's what he said when he got out of jail. What? So he's defiant. He's not stopping.
He also said, by mid-2020, everybody else who got Teslas will be doing the same thing.
Yep, that's right.
So do they stop at the red light and stuff?
But it's just not perfect.
How does it get off the expressway? Like, it does.
It's programmed like that. It's just like we have our GPS. The GPS basically drives the car.
But remember, the one didn't stop. It didn't
stop for a turned over semi truck. Yeah. So it's not perfect.
Yeah, it ain't perfect.
And
that's why you're supposed to wear your seatbelt.
I also
that's why I just don't want
the more conspiratorial side of me is like, when these things are automated, what's to stop somebody from like hacking it and killing you if they wanted to, you know?
Right.
Like, I've been watching this show on Amazon Prime called
what is it?
It's called Upload.
Oh, okay.
And the way the guy dies.
I didn't watch it yet.
It's like a future. It's pretty cool. But it's like this future show, and the idea of it is like the main character dies in a self-driving car crash.
Wow.
Because somebody wanted him gone.
Right.
So maybe I'm just like thinking about that.
Hey, it's possible though.
Yeah, because the police can stop stolen cars with the OnStar stuff, right? Can they program into that and slow them down?
Yeah.
So, we've been practicing in my family for combined 35 years, and we've seen a lot of people make a lot of mistakes involving car accidents. So I want to take the opportunity to at least explain maybe some things that you should do if you've been in a car accident. I thought maybe she would be here since she's our resident expert of car accidents.
She watching?
Yeah.
Leah, for you. That's what you want to say.
But so a couple things. First of all, biggest one, don't ever leave the scene of a car accident. People do that all the time. It's a crime. You cannot leave the scene of a car accident, period, full stop.
Scared.
I know that. And if they don't have insurance in particular, that's like the reason why you would probably maybe want to leave. It's a bad idea. You're only creating insult to injury, and you're only going to make it worse for yourself. They're going to find you eventually. So just don't leave the scene. It's just not that simple. A lot of people a lot of people will not get medical attention right afterwards because they don't know how it's going to get paid or they're scared about how it's all going to work out. You really, really need to go to the hospital if you even think there's a problem. And it's not me being an ambulance chaser saying like go get a neck brace. It's like, you know, really, you might as well get checked out as soon as you can, because what ends up happening is the insurance companies will say later, if you didn't go right away, you couldn't have been that hurt. Right. So it's better to just get checked out at first and then go to your primary care physician every time. Big one. Don't hold court in the streets.
Don't what?
Don't hold court in the streets. Don't try to determine who was at fault.
I'll write you a check right now. Yeah.
That or yelling about who is responsible.
Oh, okay.
Emotions run high. Yeah. There's a place and time for us to all decide who is responsible for something. It's not right there and then. Just exchange information as hard as this can be. Don't let your emotions get the better of you. We see a lot of situations where people are fighting physically, whatever, verbally.
Especially if it wasn't my fault, I'm slapping the dog out of you.
It's just... well, please don't do that. Please don't do that. You want to collect as much information as you can, which sounds obvious, but don't forget that you have a phone in your pocket which has a camera. Almost everybody does. Use it. You know, you want to see the conditions of the road. You want to see where cars were coming from, everything about that situation that you can, where the impacts happen, because those cars are going to move fast. All the debris is going to get swept up, and you're not going to have all that evidence. So try to get it as soon as you can if you're healthy enough to do it. And another part of that is look around for security cameras. This is something that people don't realize a lot, but everywhere that we go in this world, there's almost a camera on you at all times. You'd be surprised when two people dispute who was at fault. I had the green light. I had the green light. Well, if I go to the gas station, I find the security camera, I can figure that out pretty easily. Right. So look around for security cameras because you only have so much time to get that evidence. Make a police report. A lot of people don't want to make police report to get the police involved. Man, you sweating over there? You getting in a car accident recently or something?
Right over there.
Once you start talking about car accidents,
I didn't want to get up while I was talking about it.
I ain't seen his hair in a long time. I was like, what the hell is that over there?
Over there sweating. I ain't been no car accident though.
It's like he's in the hot tub. He's the frying pan himself.
I didn't know what was going on. I thought you was like, everything he was saying, you got a lot more eyes. Take your headphones off, take your hat off.
He on the run. He must have got some accident. He like, damn it, I left. I ain't do none of that shit. He like, I'm going down.
Right, Jenna's telling me, I'm checking.
I saw you checking Bart.
Right. He took his hat off.
When we going to break?
We're gonna go get your car out and pull it around back.
He nervous because he shows that he needed a ride.
Yeah, and then if you're as nervous as him, you should always talk to an attorney. Right. It doesn't cost you anything, and it's always a good idea to get somebody independent to look at what's going on. So that's my pitch.
Paper towel sounded all rusty. And
and last thing, a lot of people don't do this. You need to make sure you're telling your insurance company you got in an accident, even if you don't think it's your fault. Because your insurance policy says that you have to notify them within a certain period of time, or else they're going to deny your claim completely. So even if you think it was the other person's fault, call your insurance company, tell them you got in an accident, so that they don't automatically deny you if you are ultimately found out to be at fault. Right. A lot of people think that they're not at fault, but then it's not as clear as they think. Right. So you're always better be safe than sorry.
You always come up with the good topics, Dennis.
Yeah,
I'm trying, guys.
Yes.
Every week, man. It's just a lot going on in the law.
We sure do make my Wednesday so much easier.
Yeah. Last week, some guy, if I can find that, he asked something about why political figures get away with lying. I forget who it was. He's somewhere in here. Maybe he's listening now. But this is an interesting question, but mainly the issue is we don't want to police politicians. If you want to be a politician, any of you guys want to be a politician, you should be able to speak mostly freely about anything, because that's how change happens, right? Like we say things that people don't agree with, but there is some line there. We just don't want the government to be the ones who are telling politicians what they can and can't say. Right. So two politicians could sue one another for defamation or something if you lie about one another, but it's got to reach a certain bar. So it's got to be basically like malicious. So if I say to somebody, you're a child molester, you're a thief, whatever, and I know that's not true, then even if I'm a politician in the political sphere and that person's a politician, public figure, whatever, that's not going to fly. You can't willfully lie about somebody. But we have to allow certain levels of, permissiveness. He's still he's
Right.
he's like man, I was
Right,
just
it's
out on the
just sweat,
stump.
just
I was
like-
just out on the stump calling someone a child molester.
What? Right.
And then I got in the car.
Y'all gonna leave me alone. I'm out of
His
here.
forehead is wet. Can you zoom into it? It's like drenching. Like, how
it's
did you
hot
get
here.
wet again? Like, what?
It's hot here.
It's not how you get that fast.
Yeah, it's these lights.
It's hot
What's
lights.
them damn popsicle needs called? He need a damn mighty cube, a mini cube. What is it? He need a mighty pop or something. Like, what's going on?
How did you guys have a show last weekend?
Yep, Sunday.
How'd it go?
Yeah, it was great.
good.
It was
Great.
What was
beautiful.
is it just a show or was it like somebody won? That's like was it?
Both headliners won something. Yeah.
So who were the two headliners?
Sasha Denise and Anitra Burton.
I've heard you say the name.
Anitra Cherie.
I think I saw the clip. I won on singing. Great, fantastic.
Yeah, that was Anitra. Yeah.
She killed it.
You should have been there. You
I'll
better
come
be,
next time.
You better
Yeah.
be there
When's
next
the
time.
next time?
Next time,
July.
July?
It's a summer fresh edition.
Yeah.
What's the date?
We ain't got it yet.
Huh?
We ain't got it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're working on that. We're working on that date.
Well, I'm sure I'll hear about it.
yeah,
but
yeah, we'll let you know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Shae?
Clyde? Shout out to.
Officer Murky was at the door. She was on the phone.
Okay.
Hotbox.
Hotbox.
Mud City ENT.
Yes.
Essential Vibes.
Uh-huh.
Land Self to People Salesman himself.
Yes, sir.
Mr. J. Russ Jennings.
Yes.
Ms. Sasha Denise.
Uh-huh.
Greater New Psalmist Baptist Church.
Amen.
Jason White and the Witness Riches Program.
Okay.
The Social Butterfly.
I hate Miss Carter.
Mr. Kendall Harvey Sr. And the Hype Organization.
Hype, hype.
And if you would like to be a sponsor at the Rise and Grind Morning Show, you can hit us up at Rise
And Grind.
at the 419grind.com and we'll get you hooked up with sponsorships. I believe our first guest is here. We'll be right back. Keep it
Hey.
locked.
That was a pleasure, guys.
What's up, Toledo? My name is Jason White. I'm the CEO and founder of Witness Riches. And did you know that we offer the credit repair service? If you're trying to buy a house, get a new car, refinance bad debt, or just be prepared for whatever life may bring your way, you should consider hiring our credit repair program. Typically, within the first 3 to 6 months of working with us, our clients average a minimum 100-point credit score increase with each credit bureau. So if you can use gains like that, you should consider hiring our credit repair service. All you have to do is go to the 700clubtoledo.com to learn more about our credit repair program. And if it interests you, we're also going to give you the ability to start your first 30 days for just $19.99. So go to the 700clubtoledo.com, learn more about our program, and we look forward to serving you.
First experience going to a dealership, I had bad credit, and the salesman made me feel horrible. I don't ever want you to have that feeling nor that experience. I guess that's why for the past 9 years they call me the people salesman. Good credit or bad credit, it does not matter to me. No matter your situation, if there's a way to get what you want done, I promise you, I will do everything I can to find it. So please be sure to stop and see me today at your people salesman.
It's the vibe for me, it's your vibe for me. Do you see me out there vibing freely? I don't care, I'm a vibe anywhere. Take a drive or by fair, apply your pressure cause I'm rare. It's the vibe for me, it's your vibe for me.
It's better to love yourself, no BS and and pride yourself of life lessons. Life lessons is confidence when you stand on it, cause your mama gave you all the assets you was born with. Watch your skin glow when you tell her no, and watch your soul glow when you tell her man no. Recognize the difference, it is no coincidence. Before you step on the scene, don't forget to apply your cocoa butter, shake buttercream, keep up all the melody. Cocoa oil, sweet, don't show off that melody. Just so glow. Watch your soul. it. Stand up tall and own that like you own it all. Ain't no shame in your game, and ain't no one the same as you's a goddess, and you know you the hottest. And watch your skin glow when you tell her no, and watch so glow when you tell a man no. Recognize the difference, it is no coincidence. Before you step on the scene, don't forget to apply. Cocoa butter, shea butter cream, keep up all the melody. Cocoa oil sheet, go show off that melody. Watch your soul glow. You're beautiful, so no tell you no. Watch your soul. Me want them to watch your soul. Let it shine on. Let it shine Cocoa butter, shea butter cream, keep up all that melody. Cocoa oil sheet, go show off that melody.
GoFundMe has been set up for Janelle's 3 children, Ivy, Maverick, and Jahir. Reporting in Toledo, I'm Jaden Jefferson.
Don't send me no video if Young Mo ain't shooting.
I dropped some tears when I saw how they did, bro. But you gon' live on forever, JD, and that's on my soul. You was a solid ass nigga, never switch or never fold. Now you up there with me, man, just know that we love you, bro. I dropped some tears when I saw how they did, bro. But you gon' live on forever, JD, and that's on my soul. You was a solid ass nigga, never switch or never fold. Now you up there with me, man, just know that we love you, bro. The way they took your life, this shit wicked. Man, you had a bright future, you was gifted. This shit really got my head twisted. Now me and the bros stuck sitting here, we reminiscing. Damn, John, I'm sorry, ain't seen you in the wild. When you was doing something bad, you always had the biggest smile. This shit don't seem real, I'm stuck in denial. And I fucking hate your killer, hope you don't make it to the trial, bitch. I dropped some tears when I saw how they did, bro. But you gon' live on forever, JD, and that's on my soul. You was a solid ass nigga, never switch or never fold. Now you up there with me, man, just know that we love you, bro. Keep praying you not gone, but they telling me you is. Don't worry about your family, your kids is like our kids. We gon' ball for you forever, and we all gon' get rich. You was supposed to be here with us, man, this shit got me sick. I keep trying to learn from this, but I cannot see a lesson. You helped so many people, JD, you really was a blessing. You had love in your heart, so we all gon' get the message. But this not a goodbye, this till I see you up in heaven. JD, we all miss you, bro. You left a hole that I don't think will ever be filled. Your smile always lighted up the room. You always pushed us to be a better version of ourselves. We love you, bro. Rest up. I dropped some tears when I saw how they did, bro. But you gon' live on forever, JD, and that's on my soul. You was a solid ass nigga, never switch or never fold. Now you up there with me, man, just know that we love you, bro. I dropped some tears when I saw how they did, bro. But you gon' live on forever, JD, and that's on my soul. You was a solid ass nigga, never switch or never fold. Now you up there with me, man, just know that we love you, bro.
up fresh, bills paid, yes. I stay fresh, I stay blessed. Wake up fresh, bills paid, yes. I stay fresh, I stay blessed. Wake up every morning and I go get it. Please don't worry about me, I'ma go get her. He put up on me like you know me, cause I stay with it. He looking at me like a snake, but I'm a holding it. They wanna take me out the game, cause I be golden it. She wanna throw dirt on my name too, but they know better. I tried to tell them what's real, but I can show better. You see that glow up when I show up, and I tell them that's a queen thing. And I'ma show you what a queen means. Then I'ma teach you how a queen thinks. Then I'ma put you up on queen things. Yeah, so you need to grind, girl,
You are now listening to the Rise and Grind Morning Show, presented by 419 The Grind.
All right. Welcome back to the Rise and Grind Morning Show. We are here with our first guest, Cas Stylo.
Stylo, yes, sir.
I've been saying Stylo all this time, so I've been saying it wrong, huh?
Yeah, I spelled it as Stylo, though,
okay.
So I can't even be mad at you for that.
Okay, don't be mad at me. I was a little hurt. I was like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, what up, Stylo? You're like, no, it's Stylo. Give me the other name.
So I give you a little background on that one. My first name is Castillo. Castillo.
Okay.
So my whole life, people call me Castillo.
Oh.
So my friends, my little nickname was Cas, and then it was Stylo. You feel me? So I just kind of put the two together. You know what I'm saying?
Made it Stylo to kind of switch it up a little bit.
Make it look a little prettier.
All right, that's what's up. So what's going on with Cas Stylo right now? What you got popping?
Castillo.
Steel. I said it again.
Yeah, Stylo. Yes, sir. It's Stylo. Like kind of like Stylos, like Steel swag or something. You feel me? Like, you know, fuck it. No, my bad.
Yeah, we get it. So, go ahead. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Right now, I'm really just working in the studio. I've been locked in with my man Vaughn at Firefly, just putting in hours, just trying to get new sounds and new work, really just build up my catalog before I drop anything. I want to have like 50, 60 songs and delete 40 of them for my next tape, you know, give you the 10 best out of it.
Oh, you gonna be able to pick 10 best out of 40 songs?
Well, you know, get my engineer, producer, other rapper friends, to get the advice to a lot of other people, you know what I'm saying, to get the thing in there. And then, you know, the songs that just hit when you put it on the right way.
That's what's up. So that's you working on a new project. When you trying to drop that? This summer?
No, it's actually coming towards like the end of the year, the more towards fall, like more towards November.
Don't
dropping like the biggest
S.
Yeah, we're the biggest S. Yeah, more towards like a little bit before that, like November, around Christmas.
What the biggest S mean?
The biggest S, man, it's the biggest Stylo, the biggest swag, the biggest style, man. This is my little moniker. A lot of people know me as my. When you look at my name, it's CA big S, capital S. And people ask, why is it capital S? I'm like, I'm the biggest S. What you mean?
You the biggest S.
Of course.
Smell something stinking at me. I'm the shit. I get it. So you was telling me in the break you opened up for a couple of ciphers.
Yeah, Rambo threw 2 shows in the last year. He threw the Step Show. That was when he had first dropped Major Pain and Yup and his project. Okay. I had opened up for that one, and I just opened up more recently for the Melodic Cipher.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, both
How
of them
you like
shows.
that? How you like that?
Performing, I ain't gonna lie to you, that's probably one of my favorite things in rapping so far. Yeah. The first show, it was like, not a lot of people knew me so far, you know what I'm saying? I was a little more fresh, so when I first came up there, they was kind of looking at me like, who's this, But I threw like $500, so by the end of the show, exactly. The first song, though, ain't nobody come up. I'm like, there's $100 on the ground, and the females that peeped it started coming up dancing, like, and then all of a sudden everybody started gravitating toward the front. This nigga throwing money, what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
You threw a whole that's half a stimulus.
Yeah, 500 ones, man. Hey, look, you would think it was more though. 500 ones, deceiving picture right there.
That's a lot.
Yeah, with that you gotta invest in yourself.
Yeah, I did like 3 songs. It was like 10-minute set.
It cost you $500.
Man, it was worth it though. It was worth it though. The second show, I ain't throw no money though.
Did your streams pick up after you threw the money? Did you see a difference in your?
I really didn't see a difference in streams like automatically, but for the second show though, like I saw people gravitate more. Like I had people hit me up like, I know you gonna throw some money, so that. And I'm like, well, I'm not, but you can come, you come support anyway. I ain't gonna stop you.
Is that what you known for, throwing that $500? Everybody come to your show to think you throw some more money?
No, right now I'm known for really just doing some melodic rap and wearing some designer shit. That's.
You don't got no brand?
No, I ain't got no clothing brand yet. I want to drop some merch with like my next drop, but right now I ain't got nothing.
If you had some merch, what you would call it?
See, you putting me on the spot right now.
You gotta be supposed to be ready.
You see, I'd probably do like some more tape merch, like something I dropped. So it'd be like I want to do something like a collab with another merch brand. So it'd be like the biggest S time some merch drop.
So you got like a big old S on your chest, like
Superman. Yeah, with another
band.
S,
Superman.
But you could put a S somewhere else, like on the side or something, get a little more drippy with it. You know what I'm saying? Throw little S's.
Well, work it out, and when it happens, say I helped you with the idea.
But yeah, no. But the second, but what I seen though from really throwing the money from the first show to the second show is like the second show, I had a girl come up to me and ask me for a picture, and that was the first time it happened to me. So me personally, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was like there like, how I know you? She's like, oh, you got that one song, that joint with Young Go, you about to perform? I'm like, oh shit, yeah. So we took a picture. But at first, I'm looking like,
you realize you have fans, huh? Like, oh, people do like my shit, huh?
Yeah, cause in my, you know what I'm saying, like my last song did like what? The song with Young Go is about to be at like 3,000. So in my mind, like 3,000 views ain't crazy, but 3,000 people is still a lot of people.
Now, was it your song or Young Go song?
It's my song featuring Young Go.
Okay, what's the name of it?
Feel Me.
Y'all got a video for it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't got it.
I sent it like twice, 3 times. It's hard.
I'm about to get on my people.
Man, I'm telling you, it's crazy. A Solo Vision shot it. He did some crazy graphics on it. I'm telling you, that song was one of them.
That's what's up. What's up, Rico T? You in the building with it?
What's going on?
How you been?
I'm good.
Yeah,
life's good.
Y'all got something going together? Y'all gonna be working on something together? Y'all hanging out?
Yeah, we got some shit back
this is my man from probably like freshman, sophomore year of high school, 2014.
Yeah, like real good, grew up.
We done probably made, like wrote together, no cap, like 11, 12 songs. Made like
y'all
2.
Put them out
we still
yet?
ain't, we still ain't put them out yet.
No,
Cause we keep getting better and better in time. We know we can make better songs.
Let us both develop first, become something, and then hit them with it.
Right, Pete, but this is probably the first time a lot of people even gonna see us together like that. Like people, you'll be surprised. Like, oh, you know him?
I was surprised.
You see what I'm saying?
I remember you from the show. I couldn't remember your name. I talked to you. Told me. I'm like, oh, okay. They about to bring me some heat up in here. But really, y'all just brought some good conversation.
Great conversation today. Good morning. Great conversation.
How the vibe up in here? Is it hot in here to y'all?
No, it ain't too hot, man.
Anybody hot but you?
Yeah, you got the heat on with you right now. I know. The heat is on.
I'm sweating over here.
Nobody's hot but you.
I got on 2 shirts. I got on a t-shirt. Man.
I got on a t-shirt too. And you got on a hoodie. They got on a hoodie. He got on a hoodie.
No, it's feeling cool in here.
I'm sweating like I've been hooping. It's amazing
You
how
ain't
that's
got that Rona, dude. You know what they say.
I don't play like that.
Don't play.
My temperature ain't hot. I check my temperature. It's just hot. So, what you got planned for the summer? You doing any shows?
I ain't got none planned as of right now, but like I said, this summer I'm doing a lot of traveling too. Like I just went to Tennessee to link up with a couple of like artists down there. I'm trying to get to sign more at Toledo too. Yeah. Trying to do some more networking right now. Yeah. Get to like there. I'm trying to go to Houston coming up soon, LA.
That's what's up. We got some stuff planned for the summer. We might want to have you be a part of.
What y'all got planned?
Just a couple shows, not too much or nothing to get excited about.
I just seen that one y'all just did.
How you like that?
It was nice. Y'all put that together right. Y'all doing y'all damn thing. Remember I said last time I came up here, y'all.
We trying.
I got a lot of respect for y'all. I got a lot of respect for y'all.
Everything nice for sure.
We trying real hard, man. We appreciate y'all support. We appreciate y'all sending y'all videos in, and just messing with the 419 ground.
Yes, sir.
For real. Jess, you got any questions, man?
I really don't. I thought you would handle that because you're the man behind the microphone. But I'm just trying to keep the show together right here.
I appreciate it.
You just look a little nervous and sweaty. That's all.
I know. I'm by myself. Merc, you got any questions? You ain't even put your headphones on. You ain't even rocking with me today, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was about to say though, me and Wishes, I think Wishes was just on here. Yeah. We just dropped a song.
Yeah. He said, I saw that video too. I shared. He said, "That's my boy." He in the comments watching.
Yeah, that's my man right there. We had a couple songs though. Me and Wishes. We had a couple songs on the low, but yeah, we made that on some like we got the same producer, NATO Beats. We was just cooking up with him, and then he put that beat on. He was like, and I said, you feel me? And it just all went to one. It was one of them type things.
Right.
It looked like y'all was having a lot of fun.
When did you start music? Like what inspires you to write your music?
To be honest with you, I started writing music as like a kid, just like for fun. Like I was really big in the church of my mom, so I started writing like Christian raps at like 9, 10 years old. My dad's actually a rapper. I'm from Houston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my
Papa Roo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got songs with Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, Sawan.
Yeah,
he used to run with the Big Timers really back in the day. You feel me? So that was always the inspiration of music back then. But as a kid, I didn't hear him as a radio because it was before my time. So I'm thinking, on the radio, you ain't doing nothing because that's all I knew.
Right.
You ain't Lil Wayne. But then growing up, I'm seeing, I'm saying, like, oh shit, you got songs with Rick Ross, you got songs with Sawan.
Right.
Let me see what he talking about. And I don't know. I got great grades in school. I graduated number 5 in my class, like with 4.2, full ride to UT. First semester in college, I realized I was just doing it because they told me to do it.
Right.
Like none of the jobs on the list I wanted to do. I was looking like I don't want to do any of these jobs. I'm just doing it because
it's part of the play, huh?
So I ended up talking to counselor and everything, and it just wasn't working out because my grades were slipping because I just didn't care. I didn't want to do the job I was in college for. In college, you really got to want to, be the profession you were there for.
Right.
So that's when I dropped out of college, and then when you out of college, you sitting there looking like, oh, I'm about to work the rest of my life, or what's about to go on. That's when I really started trying to take music seriously. And then, but in the beginning, dropping on SoundCloud, just throwing stuff out, no money behind it, not knowing what I'm doing. Yeah, that's not me.
Is your father supportive with your craft?
Yeah, he definitely gave me a lot of advice with it. That's why I'm going to Houston, live with him this summer, do some more music things, get some more shit rolling.
That's what's up. How was that when you found out he was really the truth? Because I heard a lot of Papa Rube.
Honestly, it's been more like the last 2-3 years. That's really been, because now I'm doing it. Now I'm like seeing okay, you got 13 years ago when you two first dropped this song, got 2 million views. I'm like, okay, I'm really seeing what that was doing. A gold record, really understanding what goes behind the work behind it. You know what I'm saying? The money behind it, for real, for real.
Where do you see you and your music at in the next couple of years?
I ain't gonna lie to you, it's gonna be something serious for sure. I see my next tape doing something serious. That's why I ain't trying to put nothing out this summer. I ain't rushing nothing. I'm really trying to build the catalog, really have some money behind it, promotion, posts, not just trying to throw it out.
So you like Rick Ross, you don't want to move fast, you want to move correctly, huh?
That's what I'm learning now, because I've already tried to move fast, just shooting videos, dropping them, thinking that's all you need is a video.
Don't work like that, do it.
Right, nah. You might get 1,000 too. You young, you high school, everybody know you'll get 10, 20K. But
Who you did your best feature with in the city that you would say that you worked with? You worked with that many people?
I done worked with a lot of people in the city. I done worked with a lot of people that ain't dropped the songs yet, for real.
Okay.
The best feature I got right now, I ain't gonna say is me and Young O's song. Yeah, that's the best feature that I done got from the city. Me and him went crazy on that one. That was actually the first time that me and him had did a song, because I had called Rambo to put that, set the whole little thing up, because, him and him had 4 or 5 songs at the time. And I was like, oh yeah, hit him up, I want to feature with him, I've been wanting to do a song. And then we had made that song and linked up for the video, and the video went crazy, the videographer went crazy.
You feel me? But I ain't got it. They've been running it up, but I ain't got it. Just send a shout out to our sponsors, Hotbox.
Before you do that.
You know what? Tell the people they can find you out on social media.
I was about to say, Instagram is Cas Stylo, CASSTYLO. You feel me? It's the same thing. Facebook, Twitter, anywhere you want to look. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm the only one with that name, so I'm gonna pop up.
Cas, so you the only one got that name?
You feel me?
What about your music? What platform they can find your music on?
Oh, I'm on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. Same thing. Look that up. It's gonna pop up every platform.
Straight up.
Yeah, we doing it.
You got a hot playlist for them?
I got a couple of shits. Check out Honor Roll, the last tape I dropped last year.
Honor Roll?
Mm-hmm.
Type that. I'm gonna have to look you up, see your videos since you don't want to send them to me.
Man, he
I'm just messing with you.
He'll check the email and be like, this man just sent me 30.
It be like that sometimes. So I was slipping. So that's Cas Stylo, Cas Stylo.
Yeah, it's okay. We gonna get it.
Yeah, we gonna get it. I'm gonna get you booked on Studio B. We can play some of your videos. You come hang out with me.
For sure.
And we'll have a good time on that way. So
definitely.
Now can we do some sponsor?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now our sponsors: Hotbox, Mud City ENT, Essential Vibes, Land Self, the People Salesman himself, Mr. J. Russ Jennings, Sasha Denise, Greater New Psalmist Baptist Church, Jason White with Witness Riches, Miss Carter, the Social Butterfly, Kendall Harvey Sr., and the Hype Organization. And if you would like to be a sponsor here at the 419 Grind, you can hit us up at Rise
and Grind
at the419grind.com, and we'll get you together with sponsorships. And our other guests is here, so we'll be right back. Keep it locked. You don't want to miss out.
What's up, Toledo? My name is Jason White. I'm the CEO and founder of Witness Riches. And did you know that we offer the credit repair service? If you're trying to buy a house, get a new car, refinance bad debt, or just be prepared for whatever life may bring your way, you should consider hiring our credit repair program. Typically, within the first 3 to 6 months of working with us, our clients average a minimum 100-point credit score increase with each credit bureau. So if you can use gains like that, you should consider hiring our credit repair service. All you have to do is go to the 700clubtoledo.com to learn more about our credit repair program. And if it interests you, we're also going to give you the ability to start your first 30 days for just $19.99. So go to the 700clubtoledo.com, learn more about our program, and we look forward to serving you.
Cas. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. We ain't talking Cas, don't talk to me. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. Girl, you know these niggas can't fuck with me. Gon' drop that, gon' pop that. Make a nigga show you where the cash at. Got a shaking ass on my Snapchat. If the sex good, I'ma double back. No, I can't hit it up her ass flat. See it start to beat, bring it back. Niggas still hating, need to cut that. Hits at the hits, where your hits at? You a classy one. We're the nasty ones. Gotta bag me one. Gotta have me one. Just caught drip. I'm too fresh for a pic. Really with the shit. Why you acting like this? Go and make a nigga trick. In the 3 with your bitch. I ain't gon' trip. She gon' make a nigga tip. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. We ain't talking Cas, don't talk to me. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. Girl, you know these niggas can't fuck with me. Fat ass, she a 10 in the face. Money got me dancing like a mace. Beat it up, young Cash Clay. Blue hundreds, I'ma throw it in your face. 2 shots, 4 shots, 5 shots, 6 shots. I just put some diamonds in her wristwatch. 2 red bones make them lick lock. I just got that wet, drip dry. Bitches sickin' ass like a mix-a-lot. Wet like Steph, got my jump shot. I told her off the rip, I'm the big shot. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. We ain't talking Cas, don't talk to me. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. Girl, you know these niggas can't fuck with me. Trippin' by the bitch, what you call that? Girl, do your thing, I'ma fall back. Say something, baby, come talk that. Wanna make a hit, better call Cas. Call Cas. Wanna make a hit, come call Cas. Call Cas. Know these niggas, girl, they all cap. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. We ain't talking Cas, don't talk to me. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. Girl, you know these niggas can't fuck with me.
The Rise and Grind Morning Show is on 419 The Grind.
Oh yeah. Welcome back to the Rise and Grind Morning Show. Shout out to Jersey Mike. My jerseys got here, Mike. I was showing them off. Don't be a hater all your life. Blazers and the Eagles. All right, we back.
Who's hating?
Huh?
Who's hating?
Whoever don't like the Eagles or the Clyde Drexler Blazers jersey.
I don't like the Eagles.
You hating? But
I'm not. I think it's a nice jersey.
Thank you. I do too.
You don't like them?
Are you talking now?
Yeah.
What's your team? Who's your team, Mark?
49ers.
Oh, okay. Man, mute her, Mike. You ain't got nothing else to say.
Let me mute her, Mike.
All right. We are back with our guest, Miss Jessica Fuller. How you doing today?
Good. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you, Jesse, for inviting me. I really appreciate it. I just want to say I try to reach out about my story to a few different people. You know, I kind of been shut out, so this really means a lot to me. Thank you.
And before we get into it, does this fan too much air on you? You
no, we're okay.
You good?
Thank you.
I was a little warm.
Thank you.
Okay, so
a little.
So first off, before I let you, because I'm gonna let you talk. I'm gonna let you take control. But let the people know where you from and who are you.
Okay, yeah, my name is Jessica Fuller. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Toledo, Ohio. Right now I am studying social work, and I own a small business called Just Delamere, and I am converting a school bus into a crystal shop.
Oh.
So yeah.
What kind of crystals? Like power crystals, like energy crystals?
Yep. Healing crystals, yeah.
And well, Jesse tells me you have a very inspirational, powerful story that you want to tell us about.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'm going to let you, go ahead.
I am a survivor of the troubled teen industry. The troubled teen industry is an industry geared to children who have emotional problems like trauma. They may have autism. They may not be fitting into their parents' ideal structure.
Okay.
So when these parents feel like they are lost or they don't know what to do to help their children, they reach out to someone who's called an education consultant or maybe their family psychiatrist. And then they will go on ahead and start looking for schools. These schools are therapeutic approach schools, and they are geared to help change troubled teens.
So is it, not to cut you off, so is it like a boarding school almost?
Yes, yes.
So you and your parents were having problems at home, and
yes.
they seeked out an alternative
Yes.
solution, and it was to send you to the school.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. So when I was younger, I was very suicidal. I had some trauma before, so I was just kind of on a downward spiral. My parents really didn't know what to do with me.
Are you an only child?
It's kind of confusing.
Okay.
So I was raised as an only child, but I have 3 sisters.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Are they much older than you?
I have a 33-year-old sister, a 25-year-old sister, and a 22-year-old
So you
sister.
pretty much was in the house by yourself, but your
Yes.
older siblings was gone.
Yes.
Okay. I get
Yeah,
it.
and I was adopted in the family,
All right.
so
Okay.
you know my situation's a little wild.
Right.
But so I was kind of spiraling out of control. My parents, you know, I was in a psych ward, and they were talking, my parents were talking to the doctors. They were just like, you know, she's a threat to herself, she's a threat to us, she's a threat to society. I really was.
So you did agree with
Yes,
it? Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So they placed me in a residential therapeutic center. It's a lockdown facility. I'm there 24/7. I have no access to phones, to the outside world, radio, television, nothing. So I was in Indiana for 2 months. Then it was a short stay. They didn't want to keep me there long term, so my parents placed me in a military boarding school called Howe Military. I was there for about 6 weeks. It was very rough on me. I was always in trouble for not following the rules. I just didn't feel like I needed to be there necessarily, so I would just do my own thing, and I would get in trouble, and I would have to march for 11 hours straight on the weekend. Yes.
Like left, right.
Left to right,
Did you
left
do it in
to
place,
right.
or was you walking?
It was just in a straight line, back and forth.
Whoa.
Yes, for 11 hours a day.
Now,
yes.
before you went to the boarding school, you said you were at a psych ward for a couple months, whatever. Did that help you in any way, or did it make you come out wilder?
I think I came out wilder.
Okay.
I think the best way to describe it is like a prison almost.
Okay.
You know, I was
Yeah.
very institutionalized. I couldn't talk to my friends. I could barely talk to my family, only when our therapist would let us. So it was very hard for me. And then after military school, I was a fighter and I got kicked out. They sent me to Utah for 13 months. I was there. It was a lockdown program as well. Yes.
23-hour lockdown or 24?
24 hour. Yes.
They just slid your tray through the door.
Well, I guess I should clarify. So I didn't have a lockdown cell like a prison would have, but we couldn't leave the campus. We couldn't go to a different room without asking. So like if I wanted to leave this room to go to your break room, I would have to say, can I have permission to cross into the break room? And they would have to say yes or no. And if they said yes, then I was allowed to go.
You didn't have to have an escort or nothing if they said yes?
I did have to have an escort
okay.
as well, yes, yes. So they followed me everywhere. I was there for 13 months, and then it wasn't working out. I was still a wild child in the program's eyes, even though I felt like I did grow a lot from these experiences, but it was more a response to trauma, definitely.
So you say, what kind of, when you just say you're just a wild child, what do you think made you that wild? You think it was just trauma, or
Definitely trauma, and I just want to say I love my parents to death.
Right.
I think they tried to do the best that they could, but I was very lonely as a child. I didn't have much guidance, I feel like, so that really set me off as well.
And at what age were you adopted?
I was adopted at birth, so I really didn't know anything, but when I was in 8th grade, my birth sister, we never met before, she reached out to my boyfriend at the time, you know, my puppy love boyfriend. And she said that I was her sister and I was adopted and I was this and that, and he told me, and I called the girl off of my home phone. You know, I did restricted. I was like, this might be a crazy person. Yeah. So I called and she confirmed everything. So I found out I was adopted in the family. My cousin was actually my sister this whole time. I didn't even know. Yeah.
So your three siblings, your 3 older sisters, were they adopted or in the system as well, some kind of way?
So my oldest sister, she is my adopted father's biological child.
Okay.
So she's been around forever. My other oldest, she was adopted, but she stayed with her birth father, and then she went on her own journey, never really saw her. And then my youngest sister, she stayed with our birth mom as a redemption baby. And I saw her all the time. I still see her a lot, so yeah.
Okay, so now let's go back to the 13 months out of Utah. You conquered that, and now what's next?
So I conquered that, but my parents didn't feel like they were ready for me to come home. You know, I was still fighting in the programs. I was still telling the staff members, like, I'm not listening to your rules. I don't belong here. I want to go home. So my parents and the staff members decided to send me to a wilderness program in the state of Oregon. I was out in the field. So out in the field means out in the desert completely. Like, I never went inside for 8.5 weeks. Yes, I would sleep on the ground. I took a bath, maybe a shower, I should say, one time when I was there.
8 months?
8.5 weeks.
8 weeks, okay.
Yes, but still a long time, very long time. We had to make fires out of sticks and rocks to heat up our food. We ate the same thing every single day. We would hike about 10 miles a day or every other day with 50-pound backpacks on us. It was.
Did you have to dig your own restroom?
Yes, we did, 6 feet down, and then we would have to go get a staff member to make sure it was deep enough, and then they would say yes or no, and then if it was deep enough, we would be able to use the restroom, and then we would have to bury it back up.
Now let me ask you a question. When you going through this, how were you feeling about your parents at this time?
I hated my parents. I was really mad that they left me there.
Right.
I felt like I wasn't being heard. But at the same time, these programs, they are meant to brainwash you.
Break you down, yeah.
Yes, break you down, absolutely. And your parents as well. So my parents were being manipulated too. So whenever I saw them, it was all love. I wanted to come home. I tried manipulating them a lot to let me go home. It didn't work out. They were onto my game. But I think now we have a lot better of a relationship than we did in I did in the program.
How old were you when you were out in Oregon?
I was 16 at the time.
I couldn't even imagine sending my daughter out there. She's 15 now, so.
Yeah. So I was gone I started when I was 13, and then I came home at 17 and a half.
Did in the beginning, did your parents try whoopings?
Try whipping me, you said?
Yeah, like spanking, timeouts, anything?
My dad did, but my mom was more of the, no, don't touch her, love her, let's talk this through. So it didn't work. No, it didn't work. And I do what I want. You know, even if they tried taking my phone, locking me in the house, taking me to work with them, I was gone. I did what I wanted to do. Yeah. So
now Oregon, you 50 pounds on your back, you dug your bathroom.
Yes, and we didn't even have like a tent or anything. We had a tarp, and we had to tie it to trees and to rocks to hold it down, and then we would sleep in a sleeping bag. You know, and there was people out there when it's below zero, when there's snow. Yes, and they're forced to stay out there. Luckily for me, I was there during the springtime, so only at night it was very cold.
Right.
Yeah.
And about how many people was in this camp with you?
At the time, there was about 13 other girls with me,
Yeah.
but there is about 60,000 children being sent to these programs yearly. Yes, so it's a very big industry. Before, it was geared towards private pay practices, but now they're taking kids from foster care.
The state sending kids
Yes.
Wow.
The best example would be Cornelius Frederick. He was in a program in Michigan. He was at Lakeside Academy. It's a Sequel Youth program, and he was sitting down at the cafeteria area. And in the video, you can see him just kind of being mad, and he threw a sandwich at another kid. A staff member told him, like, stop. He threw another sandwich again, and about 8 staff members, very large men, restrained him to the ground and were laying on top of him. And he actually died George Floyd style.
And he was what, 13, you said?
He was 16 at the time, and there has been no justice yet. So it's a very big ongoing case.
When was this?
It happened last year. I believe it was, don't quote me, I'm very sorry, it was April 29th of 2020. But he officially passed away May 2nd of 2020.
And it was from complications of being held down?
Yes, from them restraining him.
So how is the school going to get reprimanded from that?
They closed down the school, but there were charges filed, but nothing established. Yes, it's exactly.
It reminds me of a movie I saw with De Niro and Brad Pitt called Sleepers. Did you ever see that movie?
Never seen it.
It's a good movie about some kids that got into some trouble. They had to go to an all-boys camp, and they experienced some traumatic stuff, but at the end, one of them became a lawyer and defended everybody.
Good for him.
They got out and they ended up killing some of the COs. They But one of them was a lawyer and created a whole story and got him on. But anyway, let's talk about some of the tribulations and stuff you went through in these camps.
Yeah, absolutely.
Were you ever held down with knees in your back?
Yes, I was many times. I was restrained like in a sitting style, but my back and my face towards the ground, so you know, kind of.
Was it men or women?
Both.
Wow.
Yes.
Because I would think, especially with you being a minor and being a female, they wouldn't even allow men to deal with you guys.
You would think that, but no. And men can do strip searches on you a lot. Yes. Yes. So I was restrained a lot by female and male staff. I was strip searched very frequently.
At any given time, they say, come here, drop them.
Yes, exactly. Men and female could do that as well. When I went to use the restroom, I had to have my door cracked open. The staff had to stand right there. I had to sing to make sure I wasn't hurting myself. You know, some of the precautions is like, it's understandable, but when you really go through it, it's very traumatic. It's very traumatic. You know, I was only 14, 15 when I was getting strip searched, and now I'm just like, don't look at me, don't look at me, you know? Yeah.
Definitely an invasion of privacy.
Yes, it definitely is. A friend of mine in the program, we tried to run away. Our idea was to hitchhike to Las Vegas. We would just stay out there until we turn 18, and then we'll go home. Everything would be fine. We got across the creek, and then we came up on a house, and it was actually another residential treatment facility, and they booted us right back to our facility.
They was affiliated with the camp you was from? Or did you know about them?
I kind of knew about them. I thought it was more of a house. I saw some kids out there once in a while, so I figured it would be a house. But they weren't affiliated with each other. It's just 2 separate programs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how did you get out?
So after my wilderness program, I told myself I was gonna go to the wilderness. I was just gonna push through it. I'm gonna not age out, but I'm gonna get through it and I'm gonna go home. I was 16, and then my parents were like, yeah, we're not ready for you to come home just yet. And they sent me to a boarding school in Maine. It's called Hyde Schools. There was another campus in Connecticut that I went to as well, but that campus shut down. So I was there until I was about 17 and a half. I just stayed in my dorm room. That school, there was more privileges. Like I could have my phone, I could walk to school by myself. But they were very disciplined. Let's talk about your character. Let's talk about all the bad about you, you know? So I just stayed in my dorm room, and eventually the program was like to my parents, you know, she's not doing anything. She just, you need to put her somewhere else. So at that point, my parents spent thousands and thousands of dollars sending me, so they just brought me home. And I feel like I was even worse when I came home than before I went. The only thing that changed was I wasn't suicidal anymore. I was just mad.
So when they let you walk to school on your own, have your phone, so were you followed that you know of, or no?
At that program, I wasn't followed, but we had groups, and it was a group, like a teacher and maybe 6 or 7 other students. They were called disco groups, and we just talk about our problems, and then the staff, who was the leader of it all, they would decide if we need to be watched or anything. But I feel like since I was one of the only students that went to so many programs, they really watched me more than they watched the other students.
And with that, after you say after all the money you spent, you come home. Now, while you was in this program all these years, did they rehabilitate you to make it in a society after they let you go? Do you feel like you was ready to be in the real world after you've been through so much institutionalization?
No.
No, so you were just out there like, oh, shit.
Oh, yes. I feel like I slept a lot when I came home, and now that I'm older and processing through everything, I think it was a trauma response. I was just, so tired from everything.
Resting emotionally, too. Yeah.
Yes,
were
exactly.
Your meds? Were your medicines?
Yes, I was over-medicated, to say the least. I was on at least 5 medicines a day.
They had you drugged up, huh?
Yes, they did. And sometimes at these facilities, when a child acts out, they have this shot called the booty juice. And and they will give you a shot, and it kind of calms you down, puts you to sleep, and they'll handle you afterwards. So I feel like when I got home, I definitely was still institutionalized. I didn't get my education until 21, 22.
And how old are you now?
I'm 23 now. So
So
just during before the pandemic hit, I got my GED, and then I was like, I'm going to school now. I'm about to be a social worker. I made a promise to myself in these programs, like, I'm going to come out, I'm going to write a book about it, I'm going to speak about it. I don't care. I just owe it to my younger self. And now here I am.
And somebody could be listening to you going through the same thing.
Yes. I'm not going to put any names out there, but there is a few Toledo survivors out here that I have met already. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So, in the facilities, you wasn't sexually abused or anything in the facilities, were you?
Personally, I was not, but many other students were.
Right.
Yeah. So thankfully, I was not. Yeah.
And just, I guess being out in society, I guess you've been out, about 2 years maybe in the regular society?
Let's see, 17, 18, so like 4 or 5 years
How
or
is
so.
it? How is it?
It's really hard, like when people say, when I meet new people, they're like, are you from Toledo? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, what high school did you go to?
Right.
It's like,
I
was sent out of the state my whole childhood, you know? And but it's nice. I mean, I'm happy to have my freedom. I'm happy to have Breaking Code Silence, which breakingcodesilence.org is a nonprofit organization. We are trying to bring awareness to the community and to others, and find support for survivors, and we're trying to shut down these facilities all over.
And it's called Breaking Code Silence. So
yes,
in the facilities, you have a visit from your parents, and if maybe you say the wrong thing and during your visitation, you may have paid consequences after. Wow.
Yes, and we do not know when we're going home, so we never have a timeline. So we're always on edge, like we need to do this and this to go home, and just a minor thing can really set you back.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think those type of facilities aren't healthy.
They
especially for kids, like your kid. Like most people aren't adults until they reach 24, 25 years old.
Yes.
Right.
And to go through that as a kid, like I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Like going through that, like the physical abuse that they go through in those type of facilities.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never understood why they even exist.
Mm-hmm.
You got Jesus Riviera saying, "You strong, baby girl."
Thanks, baby. Mwah.
That's your boyfriend?
That's my fiance.
Oh, fiance.
Yes.
And then you got Amy saying she's beyond strong. Got a lot of support.
Good. Thank you, guys.
From the comments. So, how can people become a part of Breaking Code Silence?
If you want to become a part of Breaking Code Silence, just go to breakingcodesilence.org. They have a volunteer list that you can sign up for. Also, make sure you check out Paris Hilton's documentary on YouTube. It's about like an hour and a half long, and she talks about her experience at these programs.
Oh, she went through one?
Yeah, she did. And Kate Von D did,
Oh, wow.
Paris Jackson, Drew Barrymore.
Paris Jackson went through one too?
Yes.
A lot of celebrities, huh?
Yes, yes.
Did you run in any of them?
No, I didn't run in any, but when I was at my program in Utah, there was talk about Paris Jackson being at another facility, and there's staff members that work at multiple places, so they would come back and be like, Paris Jackson this, Paris Jackson that, and it's just like, first of all, you're breaking confidentiality telling me this, but yeah. So yeah, it was a wild experience. I don't wish it upon anyone, but I'm very happy that there is awareness coming out, and I'm very happy that there's people like you who are willing to listen to our story.
Absolutely. And what kind of advice would you give a young teenager or young teenagers going through what you went through right now?
If you have been in a facility, or if you are in a facility on a home visit or anything, my best advice is bullshit your way through the program. I really hate saying that because I feel like it's not great advice, but when you're a child,
great advice though.
Yeah, when
you got to get through it. Yeah.
When you're a child, you don't have any authorization to just leave, so you really have to put your head down and just go through it. But once you're out, there is so much support out here for you, and we are trying to find different ways other than facilities to really help people.
I was going to ask you, like, what do you say to parents who have a quote unquote troubled child? Like, what do you say to them? Like, what do they do with the child, especially not sending them to these type of facilities? Like, where are the other options?
Yeah, so I would definitely recommend starting parenting classes for you, because a lot of the times people think my child's the bad one, my child this, that, when really you're the parent, you're reflecting everything onto this child. So definitely start with parenting classes, maybe some family therapy. I highly recommend Big Brother, Big Sister programs. I think if I would have had a big sister or something, I would have not felt so alone. I wouldn't have been so wild. If they're angry, do some boxing classes, jitsu. Yes. It really takes the village to raise a child. So go out there and find some resources, art classes.
Did they have those kind of activities in the facilities that you were in?
No.
No kind of stress relief or nothing?
No, we would have school. So I would be in class with 8th graders and seniors as a freshman, all doing the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we just do therapy for 2-3 hours after school, and then it's dinner, and then it's bed, and start all over. So.
No, this is a personal question. It's for me. You don't have to answer if you want to. But are you still medicated to deal with the trauma that you was going through in those instances?
So I told myself I would never take medicine again. I was really over medicated. I really don't like to take medicine. But I have started to go to therapy again to try and work through everything. I feel like I suppressed a lot of emotions because it was just too hard to handle and deal with. And I started noticing like those suppressed memories and everything are making me lash out in different ways or toxic behavior. So no medicine, but I'm very into the holistic healing and therapy. Which it's a big deal to me because therapists, I'm like, you're all bad. You're bad people now. But I'm trying to give my new therapist the benefit of the doubt.
Well, I kind of got that vibe when you said you was into the crystals.
Yeah.
And everything, you know. I mean, it can be a lot. And I know a lot of people that have been medicated that don't like it. They don't like the feeling that it shuts them down, or they just like mush brain or whatever. So.
But some people it does help, so I am not against medicine whatsoever. You do what's best for you.
You just had your fair share. Huh?
Yes, and now I'm tapped out.
Right. I definitely get it. I want to thank you for coming on and sharing such a touching and personal testimony with us, because a lot of people can't do it. A lot of people. Like I don't be crying, but I was trying to hold back a little water because a lot of people can't go through that, and then coming up, just listening to you, I feel like I took so much for granted, even though I got a lot of whoopings and a lot of discipline. But my mama could have been fed up with me, like, man, you get up out of here, go somewhere else, and have to deal with that. So a lot of times we on the outside looking in, and we don't get it. Like, look, when you came out there and I saw you, the thing I would have never thought I would hear the story from you. Jessic kind of gave me a feedback, but I would have never thought I'd have heard such a touching story coming about you. And it's a journey to be so far from home and be a child and have to still be on your own.
I can't imagine doing that.
Right,
Yeah.
I just have to take it on the chin with my kids because I can't,
Right.
If I can't get through to them, how you think you gonna get through to them?
Yeah, and what's crazy is like a lot of parents went through trauma themselves.
Exactly.
So they don't know how to deal with it. Like I don't know how to deal with trauma. Like my kids going through something emotionally, and I didn't deal with it myself. So that's why we do have therapists and other programs like the boxing programs and stuff like that. That can help us and not go to these military schools and these boarding schools who I feel are unnecessary and they just out to get money.
Yes, they are. They are a billion-dollar industry right now.
Crazy.
They are very.
And it just seems like it's just another step to get people prepared to go to prison.
There was a poll done in a survivor group about what we did when we came out, whether we got an abusive relationship or if we went to jail or whatever else. And a lot of people actually went to jail and prison afterwards. There was a big number that voted for that.
Do you think that was because they were so used to being institutionalized? They're like, fuck the real world, I'm gonna just go back to my three hots in the cot and be cool, right?
Yes, and I feel like they probably didn't have the proper resources when they came out. Like, we didn't work a job. We didn't cook our own food. We barely cleaned. We don't even know the fundamentals.
No kind of life skill training or anything in there.
Nothing. No home ec, nothing.
No.
Wow.
Don't get me wrong. We would clean our little bed on Sunday, vacuum. That was about it. But no, really deep cleaning, no.
And everybody probably wasn't fortunate to have financially blessed parents to put them on when they get out. Like, you get out, you still on your own now.
Yeah, and a lot of people, a lot of survivors, their parents use their college fund or anything like that. So when they came home, they're home to nothing. Just like the prison system, it is very similar.
Yeah. And how supportive have your parents been since you finished the program and are back out here, or do you even talk with them?
I do talk to my parents. I do. When I first came out, it was very bad. It was hard, but now we're
animosity built up towards them.
Absolutely, yes. Now we are a lot closer. I'm very thankful for my parents. I think it's hard for them to sit here and listen to my stories. I do forgive them though, because I know that they were manipulated by these programs as well, and they didn't know what to do with me. And honestly, looking back, sometimes I'm like, well, what would I do with myself too? So we're very better. I do love them. I'm very happy that we do have a relationship, whereas some people, they're like, nope, won't even talk to their parents.
Do you believe that while you were going, your parents were hurting for you just as much as you was hurting with them, kind of, or?
So this one's a tough question. Yes and no. I believe that they wanted me home. They wanted me healthy. But you know, looking back at photos or looking back on their letters to me, their lives continue just the same. Their lives didn't really stop like mine stopped. You know, they had to pay a little extra bills or, you know, accommodate a few things, but a lot of their headaches and stress were gone because I was away.
So do you think they genuinely missed you, or was more of a convenience?
Both.
Okay.
Both, yeah.
So at one point in time, it's like, whew, she gone.
Yeah, you know, absolutely. You know, there was times where I was sneaking out the house every night just to hang out with some friends. And it got so bad that my mom would sleep with me, or she would take me to work to make sure I'm not running away. So I feel like when I was gone, that really took some stress off their shoulders, and they're just like, wow, this is a great convenience for us, you know.
And that's probably, that attitude right there is what brings the animosity.
Yes,
right?
yes. And I did ask my mom for some photos from when I was away, because the program send weekly updates, and they may include 1 or 2 photos. And she only had several photos of me, but in her Google Doc, she had photos like of her time when I was away, you know, her life just continuing. And I had to tell her, like, you know, that really hurts my feelings. Like, how do you only have 7 photos of me? Like, I was gone almost 4 years. So, yeah, but I'm very thankful though, because I didn't start my healing journey until maybe September of 2020 about this. So it's all new and fresh to my parents as well, so they're trying the best they can to work through it with me.
As long as you guys are trying, that's the best part. At least you, like say, it's just not out the window now.
Yeah.
Do you have children? Do you plan on having children?
I do. I have 2 sons, and I have a stepdaughter.
That's beautiful.
They're going to be 4 and 2, and then my stepdaughter's 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you think you're going to be able to tell them about your story, or are you going to ever let them know?
I think I'll tell them, but I want them to be a little bit more mature.
Absolutely.
And understand. That way I can be like, you know, I do this as a parent this way because I was brought up with this, and I don't want you to feel this way. And I want a healthy, you know, way. But I definitely, you know, I encourage parenting classes to everyone. I don't care if you're the best parent ever. I don't.
Because nobody's never been a parent before until you've been a parent. Right.
So I signed up myself for some parenting classes as well, because, you know, there is unresolved trauma within me, and I don't want to take that out on my children at all.
Absolutely.
So I'm just trying to find better ways to better myself and for my children from this.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's beautiful. You got anything else, Jessic?
I think that's it. I mean, I appreciate her coming on and sharing the story.
Thank you.
I think it's something that a lot of parents need to hear, and a lot of people who went through that same trauma need to hear. Talk more about how can people get in contact with you and the program.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I want to throw out, I think this is a conversation that needs to happen with psychiatrists, social workers, therapists, all of them, because they have the tendency to be sending away the kids to these programs. So that's a big issue. But yeah, you can look on breakingcodesilence.org. It's a non-profit organization. So no one's profiting off of survivors. We're just here to help everyone. Also, you can reach me at justdelamere.com. I sell healing crystals, but that's a great way to connect with me as well. I have a chat box in there. Also, if you want to see me, sorry, I have to throw this out. I will be at the Stroll Shop and Dine on June 5th selling healing crystals, and I will have some brochures about breaking code silence and the troubled teen industry.
Did you bring us out today?
You know what? I didn't, but I will stop by back again and bring. I should have. I really should have.
Right. Well, you know,
he always wanted gifts.
I blame him.
I got a board out there. You saw my board.
Yeah, I did. I saw that. I was like, wow, I should have brought some. Yeah, I'm going to stop back.
Yeah, because I appreciate the story. I know it's somebody out there that's listening that it was touching and inspiring to. And, you know, it's one of those things in life that we really don't have no control over. We all end up taking different journeys in life. And as a kid, we'll see in the door and say, man, how that person get like that? Or how did that person become homeless? Or this, that, and the third. And then as we journey more in life, my mom would always say a saying called keep living.
Yeah.
Keep living, and you're going to see a lot of those things that you won't answer. So
I like that.
You know, that was a very I appreciate you coming on today.
No, thank you for actually taking the time to talk to me about it because, like I said, I kind of threw out my story to some people. I didn't really hear back, so this really means a lot, and it means a lot to me within the Breaking Code Silence community to bring it to Toledo, Ohio, to spread awareness.
That's beautiful. We'd like to thank Jessica Fuller for hanging out with us today and sharing that powerful testimony. We're going to go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsors, Hotbox, Mud City ENT, Essential Vibes, Land Self, the People's Salesman himself, Mr. J. Russ Jennings, Miss Sasha Denise, Greater New Psalmist Baptist Church, Jason White and the Witness Richards Program, Transcend Financially, Miss Carter and the Social Butterfly, who is the Social Butterfly, Mr. Kendall Harvey Sr., and the Hype Organization. And if you would like to be a sponsor, you can hit us up at Rise and Grind at the419grind.com. And we'll talk to you about getting sponsorships. I don't really got no affirmation. Just tread lightly. Take it one step at a time. It always can be worse. It ain't that bad. And the rain will go away one day. So
good job.
Tune in tomorrow for Thankful Thursday here at the Rise and Grind Morning Show. And you guys have a good day.
Bye. Thank you.
You want to kiss for him?